Guys, my name is Nonema Tikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about Ujaj Rathabokgwatleng because son, he always gives us reasons to talk about him, and we are not going to stop until the case is done. If you hate it, scroll. Vula kule video. So many people have noticed that during the Lieutenant Colonel Khumalo's testimony was that Ujaj Ratha appeared to be angry. My understanding of what was happening or what I could gather, he looked angry because I'm taking from him and the things that he says in that courtroom. Ujaj Ratha for me gave me the vibes of he is angry. He feels like, hey, wena Khumalo, uthengisa ngombuso, hey, wena Khumalo, what you are doing is wrong. You should have listened to your commander and not come here and testify against the state against state. This is wrong. That is what Ujaj Ratha was giving to me. He was giving those vibes like he did not understand. But for some weird reason, he could not directly or outright disrespect to Khumalo. For some weird reason, there was a distinction of I will speak until. I will speak until. And I like that for Khumalo because akajwacile utheka yamjonga wabona ukuthi ayondoda engavela ngiyijwayele kabi. Mtungo, I like it so much, guys, Sana, because it looks like you will Ratha, you were like when he looked at you, he was like, no, this is not one of those guys almost Jongus Joilega. No. Yeah, I like that. So now Judge Ratha appeared to be very angry, Sana. His facials, everything, Jay, was telling Uguti he's not impressed with the testimony that was given. To show that he was not impressed, he rejected everything with his commentary. That was uninvited. He was busy commenting and giving this and that, forcing this and that. And no one asked for his opinion. He was giving it anyway to show that I disagree with you, Khumalo, and I don't accept what you are saying. Now, he was engaging on issues relating to the Nongoma case, the arrest of Bongani Ndanzi, and the conduct of the investigators. However, it is important to distinguish between what can be observed and what can be conclusively proven. From a courtroom observer's perspective, one could legitimately say the judge frequently interrupted the flow of testimony. He appeared skeptical of evidence suggesting that the Nongoma case may have been improperly used in relation to Ntanzi. He did not want to accept that. He asked numerous questions that seemed to test or challenge the defense's theory, while Khumalo was giving his utmost best in that courtroom. At times, his questioning appeared to be directed toward protecting the logic of the state case rather than simply clarifying facts. He is for the state, guys. Those are some of the observations of the courtroom conduct. Now, when it comes to Ujaj Ratha, he was, for me, he was intentionally acting as a prosecutor and deliberately defending the state case. I don't want to even be saying anything else when it comes to that. That is what he was doing. If someone is looking for direct evidence or of being biased, and he will be asking, how did you get to that? And how did you interpret such? Where is the proven fact? Listen to him when he speaks. Go and watch the video from SABC's channel. Watch what Khumalo and Mshololo were doing. In fact, from Ramsipile until Mshololo, watch and learn. Listen to Judge Ratha's commentary that was not even asked. It will tell you everything. He is a biased judge. Now, what has fueled criticism from most of us who are watching the case is that during Khumalo's evidence, the witness was effectively saying that the Nongoma docket existed independently. Certain SAPS records did not align with the version presented by investigators from the cold case unit. There were discrepancies regarding how Ntanzi came to be linked to that matter. Now, when a witness is giving potentially significant evidence that may affect the legality of an arrest or credibility of investigators, us observers generally expect the judge to allow the evidence to emerge fully before testing it. Critics also, which us people and other people that are watching, I'm one of those. We are arguing that some of the interventions created the impression that the witness was being challenged before his evidence has been fully explored by Judge Ratha Mokgoatleng, because he's the one that was challenging him, not the state. No, it was not the state. Wasn't the prosecutors, it was Judge Ratha self, if you must know. Now, the broader legal principle that a judge's role is to ensure a fair trial, clarify unclear evidence, protect the rights of both the prosecution and the defense, remain impartial and be seen to be impartial. All of those elements are Zico. Judge Ratha lacks all of those elements. He doesn't have them. Now, in high-profile trials, perception matters almost as much as reality. If courtroom observers live with the impression that a judge is assisting one side, that can affect public confidence in the proceedings, even if the judge believes he is merely seeking clarity. And in the case of Judge Ratha Mokgoatleng, he was not seeking clarity. He was forcing Khumalo to say the case of Ntanzi made a case of Nongoma, which is case 163 of 2018, does exist in the name of Ntanzi. And Khumalo was like, I do not have an accused person who is Bongani Ntanzi, and I do not have a murder charge under that case. And I was the IO. I am the IO that dealt with that case. So I know nothing about these details that are emerging right here, right now. But Ratha was forcing him to accept what Gininda and Tim brought into the courtroom. Njani. And he also tried to say Gininda is a high up-ranking officer. Who cares? If he is a liar, he's a liar. They were high up, and then Judge Ratha expect. We have judges also that have been fired. Hey, this man, he must be serious. Now, the strongest criticism that can fairly be made based on courtroom observation is not necessarily that Judge Ratha was acting as a prosecutor. No, he was acting as a prosecutor, as chief prosecutor, a chief witness, chief defense lawyer of the prosecutors. That is what he was acting like. That is exactly how he was acting, Judge Ratha Mokgoatleng. Now, his interventions during Lieutenant Khumalo's testimony created a perception amongst us viewers that he was testing the defense's evidence more aggressively than the state's narrative. Whether that perception is justified is ultimately a matter for legal analysis and, if necessary, appellate review after the trial concludes. And this will help during appeals. I don't want us to get even to appeal, but I do want Judge Ratha after this case, whether he finds the guys guilty or not, Judge Ratha needs to be investigated after he's done with this case. That, no, he must not be let go. There is an inquiry that must happen, and Judge Ratha after the inquiry needs to go and answer client inquiry. If Ukune charges that must be brought against him, they have to. If it means impeachment, he must be impeached. He will be deserving of it. Usibonise amanyala kaloku kule courtroom. Oh, sizibonile izimanga mntasekhaya. Sizibonile izimanga, izinto esingazange sazibona kwinkantolo before. Sizibonile ngoJudge Ratha Mokgoatleng. So no, I'm not one of those people that feel like he needs to be forgiven. No. No. I'm not one of those people who Judge Ratha needs to deal with the actions zakhe. In my view, he must deal with his own actions. He must answer for his own doings. An inquiry is needed as soon as he's done with this matter. An inquiry is needed so that people check where the expenditure, wasteful expenditure, all the things, and then bonke abantu who were involved need to be coming to that inquiry. And then I pray that inquiry will be exactly like the Madlanga one, whereby people get arrested. Because Zindones. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts when it comes to all of this? Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. I will see you on our next video. Please make sure that you do not forget to like, to share, to comment. And most importantly, please make sure you are subscribed on the channel. I will see you. Peace out.